Hi everyone, in this video we're going to do some playback tricks for Premiere Pro on our timeline. Okay, there are some good ones in here. The first one I'm going to show you is to the JKL, you probably already know, but the Shift JKL, what does that do? So JKL on our keyboards, okay, they're all kind of next to each other. If you're editing in Premiere Pro and you want to be advanced, you rest your fingers on those. L goes forwards. Final font. Oh, let's mute this. That handsome man. J goes back and K is stop. You probably already know that if you've done the Essentials course, but if you don't, that's a bonus. You can go double speed by tapping L twice. I watch a lot of my videos in double speed, even with the audio one. I'm liking. Now, I like I've gone for this whole linear. It's like when I'm doing my checks and I'm like, I know that there's, you know, it's good. I just need to kind of like read through it to make sure there's no, I'll watch through it to make sure there's no big problems before I do a final render. So double speed, you can go triple, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can go super speedy. So we probably already know that, but did you know you can hold shift and use those same keys? So if I go shift and L and look, it goes in super slow-mo. Okay, so it's kind of like frame by frame, especially when you're like this point here. I'm trying to get it so that when I kind of time it and I start using my mouse, rather than pointing to the screen, it switches to the B-roll. So Shift L, I'm gonna get a bit closer to it. Shift L, just kind of wait for it. I've already done this because you can see the B-roll there, but that's what I did. Hold Shift L and just wait for it, and then kind of hit K to stop, and then you can kind of like get your B-roll ready for it. All right, JKL plus Shift JKL or double tap JKL to go in kind of chipmunk mode. All right, the next one could be the best one of the whole course. Yep, I'm going to put that out there, the best shortcut of the whole course. First of all, because I've been working a long time. I haven't been. My editor Taylor's been working a long time on this clock thing, and there's a lot of like, timing and trying to get it right. And what you can do is like, instead of kind of like going back, hitting spacebar, okay, and kind of checking the timing. First of all, let's render it. Who remembers what the render in and out shortcut is? Ooh, it's a test. That's right, enter. Okay, but what we'll do is we'll set our in and out points first, so it doesn't render the whole thing. Back in a sec. You know it's a bad day when the estimated time is going up, not down. All right, speedy time. All right, I'm giving up. One thing you can see is you don't have to actually wait for the whole render. Can you see bit of it screen? That's good enough for this tutorial, and it might be good enough for you, so let's leave this in the course. That's enough. So let's say that we are here and we're kind of just playing with this timing and we've got no in and outs set. Okay, instead of kind of like setting in and outs and trying to like play from that, watch this. You can just hold Shift K and it just like jumps back a chunk of time. How far? I don't know. Long enough. I'm sure there's a actual timer on there. 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Right there, I went and checked. It's actually 2 seconds it jumps back. Carry on. But look at that. You can be just like here, do your adjustments, and then Shift K. And because I don't know, does everybody do this? You're like, okay, get it right. You know, do your adjustments, and then like go back here and hit spacebar, and then kind of do it. You're like, okay, and then you go back, hit spacebar. Okay, so the new shortcut. You ready? Shift K. Remember, JKL is the you know, forwards, backwards, but Shift K just jumps back a little bit so you can play with your timing. No in and out points, just keep hitting Shift K and it will jump back enough of a time to kind of compare, or at least jump back a bit so you can see it. You know what I'm talking about. Shift K. I'm excited. You might not be as excited by it. All right, what are some other playback tricks? All right, second to last one, not as exciting as Shift K, okay, but still, it could be useful for you. Let's say you're zoomed in and you're playing, you hit spacebar, actually zoom in even more, hit spacebar, and can you see the way that the play line timeline works? Can you see it kind of like shuffles across, okay, kind of goes across and then jumps to the next section. You can change that so it kind of continuously follows the timeline. I've got used to it this way, but it was very hard to get used to. So let's test it out and see what you like. So I'm going to go to Premiere Pro, Preferences. Let's go to Timeline. Okay, and there's an option in here that says Page Scroll. That's what we were seeing. So Smooth Scroll means that this will always be in the middle. Let's hit spacebar. Okay, when you zoom out, this might be a nicer way of working for you. Yeah, I can see why. Like if that was first, I'd definitely use that, but I've got used to Page Scroll. So I'm going to go back. But yeah, now you know. There is no scroll. You might like that too. But you might be the only one. Back to page scroll, thank you. The last one is kind of looping, and it's kind of two parts. Now, the new version of Premiere Pro, or the one I'm using now, doesn't have, actually, let's get rid of this. What it used to do, if you have changed it like mine, this is a little side note. If you have changed it to mine and you've got this really teeny tiny line, you're like, it keeps snapping. I just want to just get it. Remember, hold shift while you're doing it. Okay, and it will kind of ignore the snapping, or you can go turn that off again in your preferences if you're not as excited by it as I am. Okay, so at the end here, say you're doing something here, you're working on your logo. Actually, this will be better. So I've got a logo at the end here. It appears, and I'm kind of previewing it, and it gets to the end, and then it stops. Okay, in previous versions of Premiere Pro, it would always loop back to the beginning. Okay, I think they've changed that from now on. If yours has, you're using an older version, you can do it in the preferences. You can't anymore in this new version, but you might have turned this on and it might be happening to you. So see here, loop playback. If you can't see that button, hit this little plus and you can drag the looping play button, there it is, down into it. Okay, and with it on, you're working on the end thing, you're trying to get your timing right, and then every time, come on computer, catch up. It keeps going back to here and you're like, ugh, not all the way back there. I just want to stop at the end here. Okay, so just turn that off and it'll stop looping. Now looping can be really handy because there's a time where we're just here. Okay, and remember, how do we jump back a little bit so it plays? That super fantastic shortcut that Dan liked so much that you're unsure about. Shift K. Okay, Shift K jumps back. Okay, and then we can kind of loop it again. But that's not going to work when we are doing something like a longer edit. You want to review the whole thing. So you're doing touch-ups down here, but you want to see all the way back here and see how it all connects with the music and the background. So you set the in point. Okay. Then over here you set the out point. Okay. And what'll happen is it'll get to here and it'll stop. Okay. So what you can do is actually just say loop playback. As long as you got in and out, it'll only loop within this in and out. Watch. Then you can kick back, grab your cup of tea and say, oh, how good is this? Okay, it's not great, but and you're like, okay, I need to make an adjustment. Let's hold shift, okay, and decide that actually we're gonna do, you can leave now if you want. I'm just doing it for instance. This is what I'd be doing. Be like, okay, how good is that fade? Remember, I can hit Shift K, but I actually want to see this whole big chunk of it. So I'm gonna hit spacebar, kick back, feel the music. Oh, empowering,
God
uplifting.
Hold you in the palm of His hand.
Listening to the balance of the audio.
Ireland awaits you.
How good's that fade? I think it needs to be a little different. Hang on, one more time. So it's just the, I don't know. You get what I mean. Playback, looping can be good, especially when you set your little in and out points. And that's going to be it for playback tricks. Remember Shift K. It's my gift from this course. Anyway, let's get on to the next video.